All right, guys, what's going down, man? This is your boy, DJ Just J with Just Dimes ENT, and I am your humble host of The Soto You Dig. What's going down, guys? I appreciate you guys coming through. Today is June the 11th. And it is 1:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to get it in. I got a couple of shows coming up for you guys, man. So I hope you guys are ready for the show. Shout out to my third shift people out there that are up really late. You guys can do me a very, very simple favor. If you guys would, make sure you hit that thumbs up as you guys come in. If you would, and one of my moderators, if you would, every so often let me know how we're looking compared to how many people we have watching, to how many thumbs up we have, and that'll help me out quite a bit. Okay? So if you guys would do that for me, that would be awesome. Also, like to say shout out to Matthew Lingle, who's in the chat right there, and I appreciate him coming on the last show, which was pretty dope. And you guys make sure to check out that video. Make sure you leave a comment in there. Also, let them know what you thought about the video. I'd like to welcome you guys to another show here at the Soto You Dig, where we are advocates for children first here. So we're going to bring you a lot of stories like that. You guys have been very supportive, and I want to continue to keep bringing you guys content that matters. One of the things that you guys can do to support the show is you can hit the thumbs up. Very, very simple, very free way to be able to support the show. Or you guys can hit the PayPal, which is paypal.me/DJJustJOK. Or you guys can check out our long-term support, which is patreon.com/DJJustJOK. And I'd like to say shout out to the people that are over there on the Patreon. And I'll let you know where we stand as far as that goes. As far as we have a goal over there, actually, believe it or not. And we have a goal of 50 patrons. And right now, where we are sitting at is at 10, which is pretty dope. And I said that if we can reach at least 50 patrons, then what I'll do is I'll do a very, very special project. So I want you guys to make sure and check out that Patreon, so that way you can know what's available on there, so you can take advantage for as little as $5. It's pretty dope. So again, I'd like to thank you for the people that have already chosen to check out the Patreon. Also, if you would, for the people that sometimes might be a little challenged as far as like what they can afford to contribute to a show, a very easy thing that you can do is invite someone. If you hit that share icon and share it to a friend, if others come in, then if one of them contributes, then it works the same way. So I'd like to thank you guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give a shout out to everybody that's in the chat. We're gonna shout out everybody's name that's in here right about now. And then we're gonna move into the music section, and then we're gonna start the show. So without any further ado, let's start from the top. For the people that like the timestamp, the show starts right here. Timestamp, here we go. Again, we'd like to welcome you guys to the Soto You Dig. I'm your host of the evening, DJ Just J of Just Dimes ENT. And I'm your host of the Soto You Dig. And I'm trying to do my best to try to make sure and bring you guys some different content. So shout out to Matt, who did the show earlier. So we have a new segment to the show, which is pretty cool. So maybe we can get some more people that want to come in and talk to me, you know, and we could have a conversation between each other. And it's called Splain Dat, and he was on the very first episode, and I think that's pretty cool. So that means we'll be able to get on there, have a topic, discuss that topic, maybe even debate that topic. So if you guys want to join me and you want to talk to me about something, then that's what you need to hashtag, and make sure that whenever you email me at thesotoyoudig@gmail.com, then I'll get back to you on that, okay? So what we have going on here is there is a story that actually happened a while back, but we actually just got some updated information about it. It is a very sad story. And I hate bringing you guys sad stories, but we're advocates for children here, and I'm going to continue to keep calling out the jerks, bad parents, and just you know, people that just, man, I don't really know how to describe it without being so disparaging. Just people we don't need in our community. We don't need that type of mindset in our community, or people that continue to ruin the youth, because the youth aren't even given a chance. And we absolutely have to, you know, call out those people, instill some shame in the black community, and make sure that those people do not continue to keep trying to ruin the community for the rest of us. Okay. We have to give children a chance. I also want to give a shout out real quick to, I'm going to read the donations, by the way, as they come in. This comes from Brother Jimmy D. Says, love and support always, from Jimmy D. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's dope. Thank you very much, Jimmy D. What's up, Jennifer Chapman? Chapton. Hard to get that out of my mouth. Good evening, Soto Nation. That's pretty dope. Thank you, Jennifer. appreciate you being here. So here we, oh, and also Mr. Morris. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to miss you earlier, but yeah, what's up to you? So here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the video here in just a little bit. But what you have going on the screen is I'll show you when he pops up. There's a young man by the name of Jakwan Keller. And you spell his name Jakwan. Black Sin, what up? Jakwan Keller. Jakwan or Jakwan? The names, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of lost with these names sometimes. Jakwan Keller insisted that after he was arrested in his connection with a 2015 shooting death of a 12-year-old in Hempstead, shooting death of a 12-year-old Hempstead girl, that while he heard street talk linking his name to it, he played no part in the crime, which is what he was trying to say. He was trying to say he had no parts of that, right? So he said, so you're trying to tell me that you're going to lock me up for the murder of a little girl? Keller, who at the time was 21, so he's between 22 and 21 years old, asked in an interview room at Nassau Police Headquarters after his January 2016 arrest. And so this happened back in 2015. And we are just now getting a sentencing here in 2018. So this family has had to wait a while to get some justice. That's the little girl right there. She was 12 years old at the time. So that means she would be 15 now. And it's sad, man. It is absolutely sad that we don't get a youth a chance. He said, I'm not lying to you. Nassau homicide detective Robert Pettistelli replied, that's why you're here. So he said, on Tuesday, and I want you guys to take your pens and put it in there. We'll come back to that part, okay? So on that Tuesday, prosecutors played video of Keller's police interview in a pretrial hearing in Nassau County Court. It was the first public airing of the defendant's detailed interaction with law enforcement immediately after his arrest and before his indictment later on murder and weapon charges. So Keller, who pleaded not guilty, has remained jailed without bail while awaiting trial. Authorities have charged the Hempstead man with firing the bullet on October 16th of 2015 that blasted through the window of a Dartmouth Street home, hitting 7th grader Deja Joyner. That little girl right there was staying in that house that you just saw on the screen, and hit her in the head as she ate dinner in her family's living room. The Girl Scout died a day later while hospitalized. Okay? Now, I want to make sure that we get enough people in the building because I want you guys to hear a very key point in this story. And that is why this dude by the name of Jakwan Keller, I guess Jakwan only knows about doing dumb stuff. Jakwan with a name like that, you know, as my brother Tommy says. But I want you guys to hear why he took a gun. Why he took a gun and fired it into a house. The reason for it is going to be just about as dumb as his name. So I want to make sure that you guys hit that thumbs up. I want to make sure that we get enough people in the building. Can we do that? Let me know where we are with thumbs up. All right. So here we go. They say they charged him on October 16th of 2015 for blasting through the window and hitting her while she was eating dinner with her family. And she died a day later after having the bullet hit her in the head. Police have alleged that the shooting grew out of an earlier dispute involving warring factions of the Blood Gang. Now, you guys might not be familiar with the Bloods. You might not be familiar with gangs. You might not be familiar with any of that stuff. But I can tell you this from someone who has grew up around it, someone who is familiar with it. I can tell you this. It is very unusual for Bloods to be beefing with each other as far as when they say warring factions. So these are different sets that are beefing with each other. You know, no disrespect to anybody out there, but normally Bloods don't do that. Not that it even matters, because I think, you know, gang shit is stupid, period, okay? But that's not the normal narrative for Bloods. Just let y'all know kind of what goes on in the street. Not that it even matters, because it doesn't, okay? But Keller fired into Deja's house because he believed her older brother, and I don't know how old his older brother was, but said the older brother stole a hoverboard from his younger brother, police said. 81 watching, 58 likes. Guys, can we get a few more likes if you guys are going to watch? That would be freaking amazing if you guys could at least hit the thumbs up. I had one other person donate, and I don't want to get too distracted from the show, which is why I keep having to stop and ask for people to hit the thumbs up. This one comes from my brother, your son David, who also sent a donation. So shout out to your son David. Your son David, do me a favor and say something in the chat. If I can find your name here. I know I saw you here a minute ago. So that way I can hook you up. I see you. Never mind. I got you. There you go. Just make sure you don't block anybody. Make sure you don't time out anybody. Thank you very much for the donation. The most dominant feud in LA is between two Crip gangs. Okay, so Exo Dosiah said that. And I know that that's not necessarily uncommon because I do know this about LA. LA has a bunch of different cliques and sets of Crip gangs. More than I knew, because like once I started hearing stories about it, I was like, man, I remember there was one point in time when it wasn't nothing but the Bloods and Crips. Then, you've always had your neighborhoods and your sets and all of that stuff. But if you were blue or if you were red, those people usually stuck together no matter where they was from, no matter what neighborhood they was from. And in all actuality, if we really want to go back to the history of gangs, originally there were only Crips, for people that don't know. What happened was you had different sets of Crips that started beefing with each other, and they didn't like the way that things were going, so they ended up breaking off and doing their own thing, and they wanted to call themselves something else, so they ended up coming with the opposition to the Crips, which was the Bloods. A little bit of history for you guys, right? So let's keep going. They alleged at the time, and I think they've actually confirmed this because let me not jump the gun. No pun intended. Let me not jump too far ahead in detail. But they say that this shooting grew out of an earlier dispute involving warring factions of the Blood Street Gang, and they say that he shot into the house because he believed, Jakwan believed that Deja's older brother stole a hoverboard from Jakwan's younger brother. So you mean to tell me that as much money as we have in the black community, and as much as we spend money on Jordans and rims and big TVs and all the other stupid crap that we spend our money on, you know what I'm saying? Going to the club, throwing money, popping bottles, buying Gucci belts and Gucci shoes and all of this stuff, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Buying iPhones, buying Galaxy phones, all of this stuff that we spend a lot of money on. And you mean to tell me that little 12-year-old girl is dead behind a hoverboard? That's the mother and that's the father. Hashtag, where's the father? Well, the father's right there, which is pretty good. The fact that we finally have a father in the story. So you mean to tell me we have a 12-year-old girl that is dead from this fool behind a toy? A hoverboard is a damn toy. And a relatively inexpensive toy. It's a cheap ass toy. It is. You go buy a hoverboard for $100, maybe a couple $100. I don't give a crap what it costs. It should not have cost Deja Joyner her life. Do we agree or do we disagree? Can y'all hit that thumbs up for me? Say something in the chat if you guys agree with me there. This little girl should not be dead over a damn hoverboard. She shouldn't be dead. They shouldn't be shooting. They shouldn't be in gangs. They shouldn't be doing any of the stupid stuff that these young fools are doing. If they had fathers in the home, if they had something constructive to do, if you raise good children to turn into good adults. What happened was Mr. Dumbass Jakwan was a dumb kid because he was raised dumb by whoever raised him. He's dumb. Period. He's dumb, he's unruly, and he definitely needs to be in jail, straight up and down. Because if we're going to call out ignorance, then I'm going to call it out, and I'm going to take all the risk involved in all of that. I don't care. If my life's mission is to continue to keep calling out fools like this, then it is what it is. Because I do it in my own neighborhood. I do it in my own city. I do it in my own state. And I even do it in my old home state. So you're damn right. Not only am I going to talk about my state, I talk about Oklahoma. I talk about all other states. We're going to talk about the black community, period. Dig that. Let's keep going. Now, they said that Keller belongs to Parkside faction of the Bloods, and the victim's brother is a member of the gang's High Point crew, police have said. But Keller, who bragged to the police in the videotape interview after his arrest about being known for having I have not read this, guys. Please, somebody hit the thumbs up so I can finish. Please, somebody hit the thumbs up. Y'all gonna let us. Y'all gonna let us. Y'all gonna let us. I can't believe this. Pandorians, let him talk. It's okay. I'm gonna read the message so I can see what he said. Y'all are gonna love this. Y'all are gonna love this. Let me see. What did he say? Why don't you talk about white people issues? Have you seen yourself, bro? You're black. Stop bringing down, or actually, he said, stop bringing down black people. Actually, do not delete anybody's message because I want to address that person that came in under Tommy Sotomayor's face who didn't actually have the testicles to be able to come in under a real face or a real account. Like they have to take other people that they idolize and take their face and put it as their account. Right? I would assume, like, let me know, Justin. Okay, let me know if you are somebody that idolizes Tommy because you have a picture of Tommy. So that means you're saving pictures of Tommy on your computer. So I'm assuming that you're doing that because you either idolize Tommy or that you have some type of fantasies, some sick fantasies about Tommy in some type of way. But I will answer your question. And you said, why don't I talk about white people? Because number one, what do I know about the white struggle? Great question. That's why I ask my moderators not to ever block or time out anybody. Because you're not blocked, and I would love to see your response to that. So if you have a response, or if you have, enough wherewithal within yourself or enough confidence in your own self to at least make a picture of yourself or somebody else, then I can respect you more. But I can never respect a person that's going to turn around and be like, I'm gonna take a picture of Tommy or his daughter and put it up or something like that. I mean, like, are people that scared to be themselves? I didn't mean to go too far off topic, but I think people are just scared to be themselves. Like, what is it about your life that sucks that you're scared to show your face, your picture? Or if you want to talk to me about it, then I'd be happy to have you on here and you could say whatever it is that you want to say. And I could actually give you my reasons for what I do, because I'm not Tommy and I do my things for my own reasons. So my reasons for doing what I do is different than what Tommy's. I'll address your second thing that you said. And you said, have I seen myself? You are black. I don't know why black people tend to point out things that we already know, but I digress. And he said, stop bringing down black people. If you could, explain to me what breening is. I don't know what breening is. What do these people know about? What do these folks know anything about black issues? Because I tell them about it. They can see it in the news. They can see it on, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any type of social media that's available. Everybody can see it. And to Billy Goat, like, if you could, let's not use sexual innuendos as insults. If we could be grown men, and just let me know, like, what exactly are you trying to say? Because I don't want to have to read through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all you got to do, I'll tell you like this. If you guys, like, I don't mind you saying whatever, because I'll address you when I feel like you say something that's relevant. But if you guys can at least let me know what your actual issue is with what I say and what I do, then I can address it. But if you just continue to be like, oh, you got nuts on your chin, then I can't talk to you. I'm not going to talk to any idiot that talks like that. Right? You guys are actually funny to me, man, because you waste your time to be here and you make my numbers go up. The numbers are going to stay up because you idiots don't know how to not be here and talk like you have sense. Talk like you got sense, we good. You see, because you're degrading your own people, so, and can get a cheap giggle and tap you and Tommy on the head. How am I degrading black people? First of all, let me ask you this, Justin. Somebody like Jakwan, who was on the screen just a second ago, is that your type of people? You support what he did? So I'll ask you a question. Okay, Billy Goat. Okay, thank you for clarifying. I appreciate that. It's okay. I don't know Billy Goat. I don't think we have ever had a conversation, but like I say, as long as he, talks like he got sense, Billy Goat is okay. But as far as Justin, let me know if Jakwan, the dude that shot this 12-year-old girl in the head, is your type of people. You want him defended? That's the person you want to defend? So it's okay for Jakwan to shoot 12-year-old girls in the head. That's what Justin's saying. He's saying don't degrade that fool. Y'all hear that? Justin is saying don't defend that dude that shot a 12-year-old girl. But I thought that you people love black people. I thought that y'all love black women. I thought y'all trying to protect black women. I'm trying to protect a black woman right now. I'm trying to protect her name. The little girl is dead now. And I'm trying to protect her name. And what does Justin do? Justin comes in and says, don't degrade the black man that killed her. Can we find the logic in that? I'll wait. I'll wait for a response. And if he has an intelligent response to what I just said, then I'll address it. If not, I'll move on. I'd love to see what he got to say about that. So he wants to defend. He says, I should not degrade Jakwan for killing a 12-year-old. A little girl that was sitting eating dinner at home with her mother and with her father, eating dinner like most normal people do as a family at the dinner table in a home. It's not about the news. It's about the narrative. You and Tommy do this. Okay, I asked you again. I said, what's wrong with me talking about Jakwan killing a 12-year-old? That's the third time I've asked you. If you don't answer that question, then I won't address you again. What's wrong with me defending that little girl? What I want to do is I want to help the people that need help, which are our children. Right? Are you against that? Second thing is the people that harm children. We're going to talk about them. I'm not physically doing anything to Jakwan. I'm not going to run up on him and shoot bullets through his window or his family's window or his brother's window or these gang members that are causing all of this shit. And I don't see that you guys are talking about these gang members continuing to cause violence and destruction in your neighborhoods. I grew up around gangs. And it's a very dangerous thing for a brother like me to speak out against gangs. But I do it because I feel like I'm doing what's right for my community because I want the destruction to stop. There's nothing wrong with it, but why don't you ever talk about the stuff that white people are doing? Well, let me ask you this. Do you want me to improve the white community? Answer that question for me, Justin. You want me to point out what white people do wrong? You want me to make the white community better? Why the black community is the worst in the United States? Let's take a pause. Let's take a pause about talking about black people. Let's stop helping black people for a moment, you guys, okay? For everybody that's watching, let's take a pause for the cause. Let's put a pin in the black plight right now. Let's take a pen and put it in the children that are being murdered by their parents, being murdered by grown people, being murdered by teenagers. Let's put a pin in that for a moment, and let's talk about all of the white problems and all of the things that white people are going through. If you want me to do that, I actually can, because there are some things that I know that white people don't like that the rest of the world is doing to them right now. And that is white people don't actually like for people to continue to keep calling them the white devil and white supremacists when white people do more for everybody on planet Earth than anybody does. I'll be damned if I were a white man and continue to listen to people talking about the white devil and white supremacy, because if that was me, I'd shut all your asses down, period. But that's just me. If I have white privilege and white supremacy, then what I would do is I'd shut you down if I really had that kind of power, which means that most white people don't have that kind of power. And number two, then that means that they don't believe in sitting and continue to dominate, put their foot in people's back, because it's not right. And the majority of white people have never believed that that was right. Why? Because you had the Civil War where white people killed other white people because they said, you know what? We don't like the fact that you are putting black people and other people in the United States under bondage and slavery. It's wrong. They rose up, they banded up, and they fought and killed their own kind to save others. Now, do you want to talk about the white plight? Now that's a goddamn mic drop. This is why people that don't have sense don't want to talk to me. They never do. I got dudes making videos about me all the time, but guess where they won't come? They won't come and talk to me about it. And I'm relatively a small person. Compare me to Tommy, I'm like this small on a blip on the radar. Very small. But if you take the time to come over here and say what you say and say that I need to be worried about what white people are doing. Well, when's the last time that white people asked me to do anything? When's the last time that white people have ever asked black people, Asian people, Mexican people for anything? When have they ever needed anybody's help for anything? I see a lot of microphones in the chat. So I'll tell you this. If you continue to stay here and continue to talk in the chat, feel free. Don't block them. Don't time them out. But if you have a lot to say, then what you can do is shoot me an email at thesodayoudig@gmail.com. If y'all would, tag that young man, Justin, that has Tommy's picture up, that still hasn't changed the picture yet, but tag him anyway, and send him my email address if you'd like to have a conversation about this, or I can actually give you my phone number and you can call in anonymously and you can talk to me about it. You can call, press *67 and call in, and I will talk to you. Would you like that? I don't mind giving you my phone number. The thing is, most people don't call me and most people don't text me because they know better. Just for what? So there you go. Like I said, somebody tag him, give him my email address, and I'll send you the phone number and you can call in. Whenever you've done that, I'll open up the line so you can talk. So yeah, maybe we'll have to cut that out and repost it by itself. Let's keep going. But Keller, who bragged to the police in a videotape interview about after his arrest after being known for having cash and success with women, insisted he wasn't in a gang and wasn't foolish enough to do something that would mean throwing his life away. You'll take the number? Let me see. Give me just a second, guys. Let me open up my phone line. Shoot me an email, Justin, and I'll send it to you right now. Matter of fact, after you email me, did somebody put my email address out there? One of my moderators, if y'all hear my voice, type my email address. There we go. Right there. Pandorians did it. So I can go ahead and send you my number. Let me get the phone number pulled up here. Hold on just a second. Let me see. Because right now, I think we only have one person that is in opposition as to what I've said. Because what I try to do, Justin, is make sure I only talk about the facts. How I feel about the facts is something a little bit different. Hold on. Actually, I needed to turn that on. Hold on. How I feel about the facts is different because of the fact that, no. Well, yeah, I'll do that. I'll allow it. Yeah, go ahead. But I ought to be able to make comments on things that I observe because you have to know if it's a fact, and then at that point it makes sense. It doesn't make sense for people not to know something and comment on what they don't know. Okay? So I'll be waiting whenever you get a chance, and shoot me an email. Just say, "Hey, it's me. Send me the number, and I'll send it to you." Okay? Now I'm gonna take my pen back out, and I'm gonna go back in here and I'm gonna reread this point to you. He said he bragged in a police videotape interview after his arrest and said that he has cash and successful women. What that means is he said he got money and he gets sex with girls. So if he has cash, and this is part of what I like to call out is the hypocrisy in people. If he has that much money, then why is he turning around and shooting people over a damn hoverboard when he could just buy another one if it was stolen? I'm assuming if he got money like that, it's probably not from a job that he's out working. He's not working a real job. But we don't call nobody out for selling drugs, though. See what I'm saying? That's the difference. I don't know about that, he said of Deja's slaying. I'm sorry for that little girl. But police told Keller it wasn't just talk on the streets that led them to him, saying other evidence, technology, and science also pointed to him. We put it all together, Pezzatelli said. Keller's defense attorney, Bruce Barkett, said after Tuesday's hearing that police violated his client's rights by continuing to speak to him after a point in the interview where he said his client unequivocally asked for a lawyer. Now, that could be a big-ass problem right there, but I don't think it ended up being a problem, no. But it normally is. But something he said happened multiple times. Authorities revealed for the first time in court Monday that they have eyewitnesses who will point to Keller as the trigger man. But the defense has argued video surveillance proves that that person was walking away, not sitting on a porch, as he told authorities, and couldn't have seen what he claimed to have seen. The hearing continued at that point in time. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys the first video, and I'll check my email here in just a second. But before I do that, I got to give you guys the fair usage before I show you guys the first video. So here we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Hey, what's up, Retired for Life says big ups NCPD. Hey, that's what's up. So NCPD, Retired for Life. Let me know what you think, because if you wrote something in the comments, I might have missed it earlier, because I thought I saw your name scroll, but I wasn't really catching too much of the chat at that moment. But yeah, let me know if I'm right about what I said, okay? Because like I said, I feel like these people need to, okay, cool. There we go. Got a couple of emails there. But I want to make sure I get that email from Justin. So Justin, if that's you, I'm going to check the email. So for my moderators, if you guys don't want to respond to certain people, just don't respond and just continue to talk about what we're talking about, okay? Let the other comments go, because we have about, what, 135, 140 people watching. If y'all would hit the thumbs up. If y'all want to do something for me, let me know how many people we have watching the show right now, and that'll help me out quite a bit. Okay. Also, we have 2 more donations that I need to read real quick. Actually, we got one really nice one. Give me just a moment, and I'm going to read that off for you. The Civil War mic drop was insane. Just want to tell you how much I appreciated it. I'll be PayPaling you something just for that. Love your show. Dang. Wow, man. That's dope. That's dope. And honestly, guys, I'm just literally just speaking from what I know, and I speak with passion from the heart. So let me make sure that this is the I think I know who this one came from. But let me make sure. Because I got the email address right here. Okay. Oh, screen name Retire for Life. Wow, dang, Retire for Life. That's dope, man. Thank you. Here, I'm going to give you a wrench. And what that wrench basically means is it's a small token of my appreciation for you donating to the show. That is awesome. So thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. I think that might even be his first. Retire for Life. Is that your first time? No, actually it's not. That's your second time donating. Dang, that's dope, man. Thank you very much for that. I don't know why to give you a wrench the first time. Huh. But that's cool, though. Thank you very much. Also, got one from William, and he said, times are tight, but I'll take the $1 challenge. At least I can do, it's the least I can do for all the work you put in. Your platform is solid, and you're a professional. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Hold on. This all just came in. Okay, I missed a lot of them. Okay, so again, to Yvonne, who's in the chat, Jimmy D, who's in the chat. Let me make sure I can say this name to, come on, to my brother, your son, David. I think informative show, great show as usual. To Joseph D, thank you very much. Let me see. Also to Retire for Life, man, wow, thank you. 132 watching, 87 likes. Can we get up to 100 likes? If we can get up to 100 likes, I would feel a whole lot better if we could do that. Criminals degrade themselves regardless of race. They should be shamed by all. Just my 2 cents. They should be shamed by all. I do agree with that. So I'll say to Joseph D, thank you very much. And yes, criminals do degrade themselves. But what I want to know is, why should I not be allowed to be able to have a focus? I think having focus is a good thing. My particular focus is what's going on with the black community. Justin, do me a favor. I got to time you out for a moment. So just take a breather, okay? And I asked you to shoot me an email, and I do not see an email from you. Because I don't want you to continue to talk in my chat without shooting me an email so I can send you this number so that you can call in. Okay? It's the only thing I need you to do at this point. All right? So, now that I've given you guys the fair usage, let me go ahead and get the first video up for you guys without further ado, okay? Here we go.
And good evening to you on this Friday night. I'm Liz Cho.
And I'm Bill Ritter. More on those stories in a moment. But we begin with an emotional day in court on Long Island. A mother faces the gunman who killed her daughter.
Yeah, Jakwan Keller was sentenced to up to 15 years in prison for shooting into the home of the Nassau County town of Hempstead. The bullet killed 12-year-old Deja Joyner.
Her grieving family speaking tonight about this heartbreaking killing. Long Island reporter Kristen Thorne live at the courthouse in Mineola with our lead story tonight. Kristen.
Bill, Deja Joyner's mother says every Friday is a hard day for her because that is the day of the week that her daughter was killed. She says usually she goes to work, goes home, gets in bed, and really doesn't want to do anything. Despite all that, she says she accepts the fact that Jakwan Keller, the person who killed her daughter, was sentenced to manslaughter, not murder charges. She told him right here in this courtroom that she does not have any hate in her heart for him. Deja Joyner's mother did not want to speak as she left court today, but inside the courtroom, she told Jakwan Keller she hopes God has mercy on his soul, telling him, "You intentionally shot that gun and killed my child." Deja's sister told him she didn't do anything wrong. She wasn't in a gang. She wasn't the enemy. As a family, we are no longer complete. We are no longer at peace in our home. Keller fired a bullet from a car into Deja's home in Hempstead in October 2015. Investigators say Keller believed Deja's older brother had stolen a hoverboard from his brother. The bullet hit the 12-year-old in the head as she was eating dinner. Deja's family told Keller today they are not angry at him and hope he turns his life around, wishing him well.
We don't harbor hate for people. When you have the love of God, you can't go around hating people. And we're going to pray for his family as well as we ask them to pray for our family, because both sides lose.
What kind of people don't realize is this was a case that he could have taken to trial and he may well have prevailed. He decided to accept responsibility and relieve everybody the burden of the trial.
Deja's aunt told Keller here in the courtroom that she hopes he serves the maximum 15 years because she says that's just the right thing to do, that he needs time to sit and think. To that, he acknowledged and nodded his head in agreement. But his attorney says it's highly unlikely that Keller will serve the maximum 15 years. The minimum for manslaughter is 5 years, and the 3 years that he's already been in prison will count towards that time. We're live in Mineola. I'm Kristen Thorne, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
It's always thrown me off how people can get less time for murder than they can for drugs. I've always thought that was weird. But now, as you guys remember, and I thank you guys that are here right now, we have about 140 people watching. Pretty dope. Or 142. If y'all hit that thumbs up for me, if we can get over 100 thumbs up, that would be cool. Let me know when we reach that point, okay? No, that's not actually not it. I have one more video for you, okay? But let me go ahead and tell you this other part of the story. Because in the first story that I read you guys, he denied having anything to do with shooting into that house and killing that girl. He tried to say he didn't have nothing to do with it. He get money and girls, and why would he do that, and blah, 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 right? But instead, he admitted to firing the shot that killed the little girl. So a Hempstead man admitted Friday to firing the bullet that fatally wounded the 12-year-old girl. And by the way, she was 12. Yes, the laws are crazy for murder and killing people. 5 years. I know there's people that get 10 years just for having a couple of crack rocks on them. Could be smoking them, could be selling them. But they get less time for manufactured drugs as opposed to taking a life. I don't know, man. But, you know, maybe that's the stupid portion of me, okay? But he admitted to fatally wounding a 12-year-old girl in her home and back in 2015. Said it stemmed from a gang dispute. But the victim's family called his plea deal an injustice. Deja Joyner was eating dinner in her Hempstead home when a single gunshot blasted through the window and hit her in the head on October 16th of 2015, according to authorities. The 7th grader and Girl Scout died later that day when she was hospitalized. Man, that's so sad. So police arrested Jakwan Keller, who's 22 as of January 2016. Says more than 20 Crime Stopper tips led to him. That means they call it out, man. So shout out to the people in that community that called him out. A grand jury then indicted Keller on a second-degree murder and weapons charges. So on Friday, he pleaded guilty to second-degree manslaughter in Nassau County Court with acting State Supreme Justice Merrill Berkowitz agreeing to sentence him next to 5 to 15 years in prison. The Nassau District Attorney's Office required Keller to waive his right to appeal as part of the plea bargain. So what that means when he waives his right to appeal, meaning he can't come out of the deal that he's signed to. Just part of the legal system, man. Anyway, Deja's parents held hands Friday in the Mineola courtroom, her mother dabbing tears from her eyes after Keller admitted shooting a gun into the family's Dartmouth street home, firing the bullet that ended the preteen's victim's life. The victim's parents left afterward without commenting, with Deja's mother, Keisha Miles Joyner, crying and leaning into the shoulder of Deja's father, Damian Joyner. And again, man, as you guys can see, we actually had a father in this situation. The victim's grandfather, who's James Miles, another father, which is very good, called Keller's plea deal an injustice and says that it wasn't enough punishment. I freaking agree with that. It's ridiculous, said Roslyn's resident. Said the Roslyn resident. He took somebody's life, whether it was her life or anybody else's. He should be punished for that. The district attorney's office declined to respond to the grandfather's comment. In a prepared statement, District Attorney Madeline Singer said Keller's unconscionable, reckless, unconscionable, recklessness. Oh, that's why I couldn't read it. Recklessness stole the life of an innocent child and extended condolences to Deja's family, friends, and the entire Hempstead community. The slaying sparked outrage among many Hempstead residents who said they viewed Deja's death as the most egregious example of gun violence gripping the village. Yeah, some people said that poor baby girl, man, she didn't even stand a chance, man. She didn't even get a... We don't even give children a chance. I just think it's sad. Last October, about 50 of Deja's fellow Girl Scouts marked the 2-year anniversary of her death by releasing balloons into the sky at a memorial service by her Uniondale grave. Keller had told police after his arrest that he had played no part in the crime and wasn't in a gang and wasn't foolish enough to do something that would mean throwing his life away. I don't know about that, Keller. Keller said of Deja's slaying during the 2016 police interview. I'm sorry for that little girl. So that's where he lied. Police said Keller and Deja's older brother belonged to different factions of the Blood Gang, and that Keller shot into Deja's house from a vehicle because he believed her older brother had stolen a freaking hoverboard from his younger brother. A reluctant eyewitness came forward 6 days after the shooting and identified Keller as the trigger man, according to police testimony at a court hearing last year. So if you guys want real change in your community, you have to open your mouth and say something, even if it's at the cost of somebody coming back to retaliate. You have to. Or otherwise, you're going to continue to be in this slavery that you know as your gang-ridden community. They're overriding you guys. And the only way that you guys can get out of that, or unless you want to move, is you have to start calling them out for the bullcrap that they're doing. Cast them out. Cast out the BS. But defense attorney Bruce Barkett said that he had surveillance video prove what the person told was untrue. The Garden City lawyer said it showed the supposed eyewitness had been walking away, not sitting on the porch, as he said, before the shooter's car drove up. On Friday, Barkett called the case a horrible tragedy where no successful outcomes were possible. Obviously, Mr. Keller thought it was in his best interest to accept the plea offer from the district attorney's office, which means they just want to get credit for the conviction. But it's clear that there was no intent to hurt anybody when the shot was fired, Barkett added. I'm going to read that last part again. He said, it's clear that there was no intent to hurt anybody when the shot was fired. Does anybody see something wrong with that? I'm going to read. We got a couple more donations, man. You guys are actually showing out tonight, man. I got to say, man, I cannot question, the loyalty of the people that watch this channel, because you guys have been absolutely amazing with showing love and support in a monetary form. And let me give a shout out to Andrea. Andrea's in the chat. If you're... Yeah. Oh, some people are crazy. I just saw you. There you are. Got to hook you up too. So for everybody to see, and it doesn't make anything less for anybody else. Like I say, this is nothing more than a symbol and a token of my appreciation. Okay. Justin, I asked you to email me and you haven't emailed me yet. Okay. I have to time you out until you email me. Okay. Email me and I'll send you my number. So. To some people are crazy. I just rinsed you up. So thank you very much for your donation and said Thank you, Just Jay. I really support. I really appreciate your shows. These trolls seem to have an inferiority complex. It's not just a black issue. Thank you for the smart people that have figured it out. When I talk about these issues, you can actually translate them if you're having issues in your own community, and then those people of those community, if they want to discuss the issues that they're having, should have the right for them to be able to talk about their own issues. So since we are divided by race, then we also have to try to fix each other as a divided group of human beings. So if black people, being the smaller group in the United States, if we're as small as we are, then it shouldn't be this hard for us to be able to fix ourselves and for us to be able to call out our own issues. So that means we have some really deep-rooted issues. For everybody else that doesn't seem to be having as great of an issue as that we're having, then they have to deal with that. So maybe my words and maybe what we do here will help them. If you want me to help those other communities and call out their ignorance and their foolishness, then just translate what we see in these stories. Since you guys know and y'all say, well, white people do it too, then fine. It shouldn't be that hard for you to find it and find some white people that are talking about white issues. Send the stories to them. Email them to them. Hey, what's going on, Kurt Dog? Shout out to my brother Kurt Dog in the building, man. Prayer hands up for my brother Kurt Dog. That's my brother, man. But again, she said, this is not just a black issue. I don't look at a person's skin color to decide whether or not to care about what happened to them. There are asses in all races. Sincerely, some people are crazy. Andrea, man, that's dope. Thank you so much for the donation. Also, let me make sure. Okay, so he did send me an email and he said that he would donate, and he did. He said the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart of DJ Just JOK. Deep in the heart of Texas. Love your work, bro. Daniel, thank you very much, man. That's dope. Daniel, if you're in the chat, let me know if you're in the chat, bro, so I can hook you up too, man. Thank you very much. That put a huge smile on my face, man. Thanks for that. I appreciate that. But yeah, shout out to my brother Kurt Dog who's listening to us right now. Y'all know I play his music all the time, man. Shout out to my brother, for real. But let's keep going with this thing, okay? So, the thing that I didn't see anybody catch just yet, Tommy and DJ shows and topics typically transcend race. Thank you, Athena. Thank you. That was my point. Hey, Linda, how you doing, Linda? Good to see you. Athena said, Tommy and DJ shows typically transcend race. That's my point. And they also typically transcend the United States. You could take any of these because there are people in other countries. Shout out to people that are watching from other countries out there. How many people do we have right now that are watching us outside of the United States of America? If you are just outside, there, right there, I got you. Boom. There you go. Thank you very much, Dan. Yes, and yes, you made me laugh. That was dope. Gang dispute. That's the key. Yep. Failure in humanity has no color. I like that. So how many people do we have watching from other countries that can watch our shows and use the lessons that these shows teach and apply those lessons in the lives that they live and actually give them more perspective on what they see in their own country? Look at that. That's at least a couple right there. Singapore, Greece, see how much reach you have. I appreciate it. We got the UK in the building. Okay, cool. Look at that. Matt, I want to, not only do I want to continue to reach, man, but I just want to continue to keep building and I want to continue to keep growing. Like, I don't want this message to stop. If we can continue to keep growing our message and get bigger and bigger and bigger, I don't want to stop this. I want to keep going. Okay. But this is what's wrong with this statement. They said, obviously, Mr. Keller thought it was in his best interest to accept the plea deal from the district attorney's office. but it's clear that there was no intent to hurt anybody when the shot was fired. Barkett added. How is it clear? See, one of the things that when you guys take a gun safety course, that they tell you, because I've taken 2 of them in 2 different states, is they tell you that every bullet that comes out of your gun needs to be accounted for. Every bullet that comes out of your gun needs to be accounted for, or you will be held accountable in the court of law for every bullet that leaves your gun. Even if you are being attacked and your life is at risk, if you shoot a bunch of bullets in the direction of your attacker and you miss and it hits somebody else, you could also face consequences for that. So answer me this. How is it that you can take a gun, aim that gun, fire that gun at a house with people living in it? Aim it at a target and fire with living, breathing human beings in that house. And you didn't have any intentions of hitting somebody? What the fuck is that? Sorry about my language. But seriously, what kind of bullcrap is that? Guys, I'm lost with that one. And that probably points to why that particular community has so much violence in it. That right there. Barkett said there was clear, it is clear there was no intention to hurt anybody when that is a home. Homes have people that live in them. Homes usually have children that live in them. Homes usually have men, women, people, humans living, breathing in those homes. You shoot at an apartment. You shoot at a home. You shoot at a car. You shoot at anything that is normally occupied in a church. Anything that's occupied by human beings. There's a likelihood that you're going to hit someone, kill someone. So how are you going to say that it's clear? Because you have to be very careful about the words that you're using, especially when you're putting words into the media. And I can almost guarantee you that nobody in that whole state caught that mistake. Because I don't think he means that. I really don't. I think that person's probably a good person. I think Barkett's probably a good person. But you damn sure can't sit there and say that this young fool had no intentions of hitting somebody in that house when you're shooting at a house occupied by human beings. Ridiculous. But they said that he remained in jail without bail since his arrest, and the judge again remanded him to custody Friday before his April 10th sentencing. So what you're going to look at now is you're going to look at a video from the sentencing, and this is going to be the straw that finishes off this particular story, okay? So here we go. Let me get this video up for you. Here we go.
Dabbing eyes and choking sobs, hugging loved ones unable to speak. The parents of Deja Joyner, who was taken from them at age 12, faced their daughter's shooter in a courtroom filled with Deja's loved ones.
It's my granddaughter. I don't have words right now because of the emotions, the way they're flowing.
During tear-filled impact statements, Deja's family relived the October day 2015 when the 7th grade Girl Scout was shot in the head. A bullet fired into their Hempstead home blasted through their front window, hitting Deja as she ate dinner. Jakwan Keller admitted he fired the shot, pleading guilty to manslaughter, sentenced 5 to 15 years in prison. One of Deja's aunts staring down Keller in court, quote, 5 to 15, I pray for the 15, it's only right you need to sit.
I think he should take the time and reevaluate what he did and use his mind constructively. Maybe as he returns into society, he'll be a better citizen for us all.
The slaying sparked outrage across Long Island, residents viewing Deja's death as a most egregious example of gun violence. Police say Keller, a member of the Bloods gang, shot into the Joyner home from a vehicle because he believed Deja's brother had stolen a hoverboard. Deja's mother, I hope one day God will have mercy on your soul. Deja did not deserve that. Keller responded, I didn't mean to intentionally hurt your daughter. If I could take it back, I would.
Recklessness was the core of what he did wrong here. He didn't intend to hurt anybody. He fired one shot.
Deja's parents, heartsick and mournful, walked weeping out of the sentencing, saying, everyone is a loser here.
You don't go around shooting bullets in the air.
A message from the Joyner family, who call themselves prayerful and forgiving. Quote, put the guns down. If you have a dispute, talk things out. From criminal court in Mineola, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News.
I like what Change in the Air said. He said, so this idiot thought this person's life was worth $300. And that's my point. After this fool actually bragged about having money and girls. Like, just, man, just, there is no value in the manhood that these men are getting without their fathers. And I'm just assuming, but, you know, this is definitely a product because we see this type of thing replicate itself all the time in the black community, usually behind young men that are raised without fathers, and they end up in gangs. So all of the elements that are there for Jakwan, and this is the end result. You know, dumb kids end up growing up to be dumb adults, and they do dumb things, and then everybody suffers for it. So that's pretty much all I want to say, man. I'm going to continue to keep calling this out, and I'm never going to stop what I'm doing, you know. But like I say, for anybody that wants to challenge me or talk about anything, anytime, all you have to do is ask for, send me an email and ask for my number. I'd be more than happy to send it to you. It's like I say, you know, the gentleman that was in there earlier, I think it's weird how they go out of their way to get your attention. Like, hey, I'm here. You know, they flag you, they thumbs down, they put comments, they do this, they do that. But they won't talk to you. They won't make a change. They're not doing anything positive in their community. And it just baffles me that they continue. It's almost like living in a dirty house. You know, you got rats, you got roaches, you got spiders, you got, you know, food, dirt everywhere, clothes not washed. And people refuse to, you know, to wash their hands. You understand? People continue to live in filth. And that's what the trolls remind me of. These are people that don't want to be clean. Hey, what's up? CX is in the chat. Shout out to the Purple Army. Shout out to you guys, man. Justin, I have to time you out again, my brother, since you are, you know, a little bit afraid of emailing me. You know, I get it. I get it. You know, some people that explain to me your type of mindset that feels like you have to put, you know, a picture of somebody else rather than yourself. Because I think that that's how you view yourself, as insignificant, which is why you can't put a picture up of yourself, right? So, but again, man, I'd like to thank you guys for coming through to the show. If you guys need anything from me, shoot me an email. For all of the donations that we got, man, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do more shows. You guys have contributed more than enough. Hell, I'll do shows until the freaking sun comes up if I have to, because we topped out today at 156 people at damn near 3 a.m. in the morning. That is dope, and I want to continue to keep giving you thank you, man. I don't think he's gonna do it, man. I think he's afraid of me, but I don't mind people being afraid of me. But one thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna take advantage of people. But you know, but if he's afraid of me, he definitely can be afraid. I get it. I understand. But what I want to do is I want to reiterate the people that have actually donated. And I want to say thank you to everybody that's watching, but I wanted to also give a special thank you to the people that actually put their money where their mouth is, that believe in what they believe in and donate to the show. So again, shout out to Yvonne Y, who's in the chat. Shout out to my brother Jimmy D. Shout out to my brother Jimmy D. Shout out to my brother, your son David, who's also in the chat.
30 hertz straight up.
Shout out to Joseph D, also in the chat. Shout out to my brother, let me make sure I can say the name. William C, shout out to William. Oh, there he is, right there. William, hold on just a second. Let me see. Let me see if I can get this to show up real quick. Oh yeah, William, yes. William, this is long overdue. I want to say thank you very much to William Carter, who's been a very long time supporter. So William, there's your wrench. Thank you very much. We'll donate when I get paid. Have a great night. Carrie Ann, anytime you like, you know, it's no rush, sweetheart. Just whenever you can, just, you know, I'd be more than happy. So thank you very much. So, so shout out to William Carter. That was the last one I just read just a moment ago. Let me get these other ones. To hold on, let me make sure I can say the name. Retired for Life in the building, man. Shout out to Retired for Life. Also shout out to Joseph D. Thank you very much. To I almost remembered the name. Some People Are Crazy, who's in there right now. So shout out to Some People Are Crazy. Thank you very much. Also to Dan Rice. I think Dan is in the chat too, man. So thank you very much, Dan. That's actually an incredible contribution from you guys. So I definitely appreciate you guys showing some love. For everybody else, man, if you want to contribute to the show and having some financial issues from time to time, if you want to just send 4 quarters, just make sure to send it as family and friends, and it helps out a lot. Also, shout out to my sister Chastity. I needed to give a shout out to a couple other people who donated to the last show. So Chastity knows I love her, man. Shout out to my sister Chaz. Also, shout out to Dan on Fire, Maloish, and brother Jimmy D, also from the last show. So again, guys, I'm going to bring you guys another show. Did you get the email? Yes, Carla, I did. I got it. Yes. I'm going to bring you guys another show. So if you guys would, just make sure to stay tuned. I'm going to bring you guys another show, and I don't want to bring too many sad stories, but I'm going to continue to keep advocating for children. This is your boy DJ Just Jay signing off. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We're bringing you one more show. You guys stay tuned, okay? We'll be right back. See you in a little bit, okay? Thank you. Peace.